see in time. The testimony so far has merely been a review of the facts. The proof comes next. Care to elaborate, Prosecutor Gavin? When Mr. Valen entered the hospital room, the victim had already been shot. As his next testimony will prove, you're right, the real fight is about to begin. Bring it. Very well. The witness will now testify to the court. Help us determine who shot what. Who shot what? I arrived in the hospital room at the appointed time, which is to say 11:20 p.m. Save 3. After discovering the body, I fulfilled my obligation, then called in the doctor. The doctor examined the body before the police arrived. He was quite clear about the time of death, 11:10 p.m. And the one in the room at the time was my partner, not me. Those times are rather close, you have to admit. You're talking about an alibi established over a matter of minutes. To use a 10-minute discrepancy as the basis of your alibi. It's easy to explain in this situation here, Judge. For example, take our debut hit single, 13 Years Hard Time for Love. Cue to the song, press the play button and it will play for 2 minutes 15 seconds. Do it 100 times, the result is the same. The debut single was only 2 minutes and 15 seconds long. What a riff-off. Magic is a word of utmost precision. Hocus pocus requires admirable focus. And in the time of death determined by the doctor, there is an incontrovertible truth. Very well, the prosecution warns us that we are dealing with rather precise times, and we can expect the cross-examination to require the same level of precision. I would hope the defense refrains from its customarily broad, sweeping accusation. Lest we blur the focus this case so clearly demands. Point taken. Lisa's remarks will result in a penalty. What? Carry on, Mr. Wright. Carry on. Who should what? I arrived in the hospital room at the appointed time, which is to say 11:20 p.m. Press. 11:20 p.m. Can you prove that's when you arrive? Alas, such a feat may be beyond even the great Valen, for there was no one in that room but Magnifi, and he was departed after a fashion. I have here defendant Jack Gamery's sworn deposition. I snuck into his room but met at the appointed time. It was 11 minutes before I left the room and the victim was still alive. The time indicated by this letter to Jack was 11:05 p.m. Exactly. It just means the witness could not have entered that room before 11:15 because his partner was still in the middle of his crime. I see someone did their arithmetic homework. You see, the defendant himself has corroborated the witness testimony. That makes sense. I don't see any problem with the testimony. If you say so, let's continue, shall we? Sometimes the most magical thing of all is the truth. Okay, I see what you're doing here. Save 3. After discovering the body, I fulfilled my obligation, then calling the doctor. The doctor examined the body before the police arrived. He was quite clear about the time of the death, 11:10 p.m. and the one in the room at the time was my partner, not me. He was quite clear about the time of death, 11:10 p.m. Press. I don't think I'm stepping out on a limb to say I have some doubts about this. Of could a doctor be so precise with the time? We do usually get an estimated time of death through. I'm not sure I heard a verified time of death. Magic reveals in making the complex appear simple, but reality is the opposite. Save 3. What appears complex in this case is a simple matter of subtraction. If another person has done the animated homework, the point here is the IV the victim was taking. It's accessible in the photograph of the scene. Recall what we heard earlier about the victim Magnifi schedule. Every night at 11, Magnifi took an IV drip for 30 minutes. I can see the IV bag right there, yes. Now look a little closer, follow the tube down from the back to the end. Ah! The needle's been removed! Obviously, it fell out when he was shot. That would seem to be the case. When the needle comes out, the IV no longer drips. Ah, we could just measure the remaining IV liquid. Precisely. The IV liquid functions for our purposes as an hourglass of sorts. This is how the doctor determined the time of death. The amount remaining in the bags, it was determined that the IV had stopped 10 minutes after the administration began. And so it was when Valen entered the room. 10 minutes has passed since the horrible crime was committed. And this proof. Well, Mr. Wright. Seeing how this could be the school we have to the time of death, I say it's very important. Agreed. It will be hard to imagine a more precise way to determine the time. We heard the power of arithmetic. Very well. The witness will add this detail to his testimony. Sometimes the most magical thing of all is the truth. Walking on a murder and the first thing you do is shoot the crowd? The disciple, that's what the disciple must. My mentor's request without reason had caused for me a surfeit of sorrow. For what I, Valen, be now without him? May the soul of Magnifi the Great find greater peace above. This I muttered to myself as I pulled that lonely trigger. In any case, I believe this is nothing more than we have already learned. Still wait for one of those red moments here, attorney. May I remind you that Basil's remarks without penalties. Proceed with that in mind. Yes, Your Honor. What a pain this is turning out to be. The doctor examined the body before the police arrived. Press. Did the doctor say anything concerning the cause of death? Why, yes, I believe he screamed, "My God, he's been shot in the head!" It didn't take a doctor to notice that. I believe I would have said much the same thing. And I would have paid the requiem that rose in my soul at the horrid sight. Whatever happened to good old-fashioned investigation? In any case, I believe this is nothing more than we have already learned. The IV yourself by any chance? When first I entered that room, the stench of ground powder assailed me. I That's the mark of death upon my mentor's forehead. And then his left arm did I spy a rough doping wielded. It stoned the discarded ivy needle, knocked from the vein by the force of the shot. Luckily for you. If that ivy had not been there, why you might be a suspect? Indubitably so. I may say it's thanks to my lucky color. Your lucky color? Indeed, even today I very proudly call my suspect self. For it always been without a fair brings me luck. Why, when Zack and Valen won their first Magician Grand Prix, yes, the very one held by the Association of International Magicians, I adorned in this attire then too, and our trophy a bus. Oh, what a day that was. This is one trip down memory lane no one's need. My lucky color, yes indeed, and that ivy too. I say I think that was used especially for me, Valen. That does seem to be the case indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, any thoughts on this testimony? Valen sure looks happy for himself. Okay, how about this lucky color testimony? Problem. I don't see any problem with that testimony. If you say so, let's continue, shall we? Sometimes the... Yes. You entered the hospital room at 11:20 p.m. The time given by the defendant Jack Emery was 11:05 p.m. You didn't run into him at the hospital that night? This is why I never perform with amateurs, you see. Picture, if you will kneel in the night of the time hospital outside only the pale light of the moon. To dress as we were to meet in such circumstances, I dare say that would ruin the mood completely. The mood isn't in question here. I believe the witness is saying they didn't meet, yeah. For what is magic if not the study of beauty? As meeting was not only out of the question, it was an impossibility. For what is magic if not the study of how to make absolutely no sense at all? That said, was there a contradiction in them? Not a problem. I don't see any problem with the testimony. If we say so, let's continue, shall we? Okay, that's it for today's guys. Bye bye.